Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Herb's Comic Book Journey. So over the last few weeks, I know I've just been sticking to Marvel. What can I say? It's one of my favorites. It grabs my attention. I just think the characters are better. But that's just my opinion. I will flip-flop back and forth to different ones. But going on to this character this week, I know last week we did Hulk. So why not go to his cousin, She-Hulk? So, but before we get into that, you always know we got to start off with our sponsors. So, first off, let's go and talk about FNX Fit. As you guys know, I've been using FNX Fit over the last few months. I feel good. My workouts feel better. I've lost a lot of weight over the last few months, and I feel good. I mean, what better can I get? I mean, just keep on dropping. But just to let you guys know, you can go and get your own supplements, which is CBD oils, whey shakes, protein shakes. You can get other products as well, t-shirts and all that other stuff. And go on to blursandwhiskey.com and look up, as you go on blursandwhiskey.com, look in the sponsors, and you can go ahead and purchase anything off of there. And as always, the promo code is FNX Blerds 13. That's FNX BLERDS 13. So with that being said, let's go and talk about the woman with the gamma blood in her system, Jennifer Walters. For those of you who don't know, she is, like I said earlier, she is the cousin of the Hulk, who is Bruce Banner. So the story starts off like this. It takes her original comic takes place in 1979, I believe, and it's a rather old, but I mean at the same time, it's kind of entertaining. So let's just get to it. Jennifer is she's a shy lawyer who's just started out not too long ago. And her cousin, who she hasn't seen in a long time, Bruce Banner, comes up to her at her practice and says to her, like, hey, I know I haven't seen you in a long time, but I have something that I need to tell you. And because I really haven't told anybody, and I feel like I could confide it in you. So he tells her that he is the Hulk. And they say, well, look, I want to go ahead and talk. She says to him, I want to go ahead and talk more about this. So why don't we just go over to my house and we can settle this? So as they're on their way over to her house, she is a little shocked about this. And he's getting ready to fill her in, but little do they know, on the way over to her house, there's some criminals that's following her on the way home due to their boss is trying to frame one of her clients. So as they're getting ready to get out the car, one of them pulls up and shoots her. And it's kind of messed up because as soon as she falls down, Bruce, instead of turning into the Hulk, he goes and gets some hose and sprays the guy, and the guy runs off. I think to myself, okay, he has a gun. He has a hose. That's really going to stop me from finishing the job. Anywho, so he goes ahead and says, like, hey, I gotta save her. She's losing blood and everything. And the one thing about it is, it just so happens that right across the street is a vacant doctor's office. Okay. And he's like, well, she's losing blood, but I just so happen to have the same blood type as my cousin. Not gonna lie, that right there, I'm like, really? Hell, me and Rita are cousins, and I don't even know her blood type. She doesn't know mine, but I just so happen to know. Anywho, he finds out that they both have the same, he knows that they both have the same blood type. He gives her some blood, and it happens to have gamma radiation in it. So as it gets to a point to where it's like, hey, I gave her enough blood, and he calls the police when he feels it's safe enough. calls the police and the ambulance to come and pick her up. So before the police get to question him, he turns on the Hulk and bails out. So as she gets over to the hospital, she's starting to recover a little bit. And those same gangsters try to come and finish the job. Little do they know, they first come in dressed as doctors. And they try to smother her with chloroform. In the midst of that happening, she gets real pissed off and like smacks the fuck out of them. All of them across the room. Then she turns into this big green Amazon who happens to be She-Hulk. Then it gets to a point to where she's going ahead and picks up the whole fucking bed and just throws it at him. And then as they try to make a way through it, she basically just runs after their asses with a swiftness. And as they get in the car to try to run off, she gets a light pole and just heaves it at the car, cleanly taking out every single one of the wheels. Can't even lie, that's kind of impressive. But yeah, as she gets to the car, she basically threatens to kick every one of their asses. And it just so happens that the police is there and she makes them basically just confess to what they did. And before the police can get to her, she runs away, gets right back in the hospital, back into her room, and turns back into her regular self. And acts like the whole thing never happens when a nurse comes back in. But she vows to herself that if she herself, Jennifer, can't handle a situation like this, I'll get She-Hulk to go in and take care of it. Now, the one thing about She-Hulk, and that's pretty much the end of the story. Now, the one thing about She-Hulk is, She-Hulk, number one, she doesn't talk like Bruce Banner as Hulk. So she basically could just talk anyway, the regular way like I am. She also she has the same strengths. She does turn into She-Hulk whenever she's angry, but at the same time, she can control it a little bit better. Also, another thing, just not in this story, but later on down the line, as far as other comics are concerned, she was the first person to break the fourth wall, way before Deadpool. She's also been part of the Avengers. She's been a part of the Fantastic Four, and I thought this was kind of dope of her. So my mom's been asking me for the longest time, I want to hear a story about She-Hulk. So shout out to Ma Dukes. And I feel like, we haven't really talked about women on superheroes. So, why the hell not? She's a pretty dope character. She was with, I believe it was the A-Force, pretty much a female version of female superhero group. So I thought it was pretty dope to kind of talk, fill everybody in on her. So that concludes Herb's comic book journey. But before we leave, gotta talk about that beard struggle, y'all. I know y'all see my beard looking pretty damn good. I don't know what's taking y'all so long to go and get y'all's. So, fellas, you want to get a nice beard looking like me and Trey Proper, and how Cam and Rick has turned their beard into something really good, go and get yourself some beard struggle. As you all know, go on blursandwhiskey.com. Go ahead and get that, go and look in that sponsor area and go to Beard Struggle. They have different fragrances. They have the beard brush combs. They have the heated comb as well. They have day and night oils that I have that I love a lot. They have the beard bombs. They have the scruff bombs. They have everything, man. I don't know what's taking y'all so long to go and get it. Stop bullshitting. Get you some. That's all I got to say today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode like I did. I thought it was a pretty good comic strip. I have to read up some more just to see how it is. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Peace.